Hi, I'm Alex Archbold, and I've been buying and selling antiques since I was 9 years old. From basements to scrapyards, I'll look just about anywhere I can to find lost antiques and collectibles. And sometimes I'll go big and buy everything. With my wife and kids, we run an antique shop in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, filled with some of the most unique items we can find. I never know what's going to happen or who I'm going to meet. This is our life, this is our adventure, and this is Curiosity Inc.
From home, honey.
Hey guys, and welcome to today's video. Well, at the shop the other day, I ended up picking up a big bag of jewelry and I don't know what, all kinds of stuff in there. I brought it home, we're gonna lay it on the table, we're gonna go through and see what treasures came through the shop today. I hope you enjoyed this episode. We're gonna do a little sorting and go through a treasure box. Let's go check it out. This is the stash of stuff. Now, when this came in, it was in a big bag and I could see that there was some money in there and jewelry. I didn't know if it was gonna be costume or not, so I laid it all on the table. We're gonna go through it today. Let's have a look at the obvious return on our investment right now. This is the instant ROI because it's actual cash. So you're probably gonna ask yourself, what did I pay for everything? I paid $1,000 for all this. Why did I pay $1,000 for it? Well, because there was, I think, close to $350 in cash. So it meant that the rest of this stuff was only $650. And there's an awful lot of jewelry in here and other stuff, so I think I'll be okay. But here's an old Canadian $1 bill, and you can look and see the date on it, 1975. Condition's not too bad. You know, when they're used like this though, even though they're from the 70s, they're not really worth much more than face value. So unfortunately, a lot of these are just face. However, the discontinued bills can sell for a little bit more than face value. And so for those, like the $2 bills, which we now use a toonie, a $2 coin, and our old $1 bills, which I have plenty of now, those can all go actually to auction where we'll get far better than face value for these if we put them out in lots of 10 or so each. So already I've got a bunch of my money back. Now, sometimes when you're looking at currency like this, you want to look and see, are they radar notes, which means if it went 5432 2345, if they're replacement notes, they'll have a little X at the end of it, which might make it a little bit more valuable. That means that the original note was damaged and the bank had to reissue the same serial number. Or if it's all twos or all fives. So sometimes it is worthwhile to look through the serial numbers and see if there's one that's maybe a little bit more unique, because yes, there are collectors who buy specific serial numbers. I will have a look at that later on and see what there is. In the meantime though, let's look at what else there is. I'm gonna go through the jewelry in just a minute, and we're gonna get some of these other things out of the way while we're looking. This is a really cool, I would say this is 1950s, global transistor radio, bakelite body or plastic body with this gold. My dad would love this. He collected plastic pocket radios just like this. This would have been, I would have given this as a gift to my dad for his birthday or Christmas. That would have been right up his alley. Really cool looking thing. Nice, it even has the original headphones in there, all wrapped up. So this would be considered probably like new old stock or maybe unused. It's got a little bit of a crack in the plastic there, but I don't think that saw a whole lot of use in its day. If it did, it was very well kept. So we're gonna set that aside over there. We do have a couple coin sets here, which you can see, this is the 1967 Canadian Centennial coin set. So the silver dollar with the loon, the original loonie. We've got the Howling Wolf. Every single one of these would be considered like a approved for a mint coin, because they were put in here back in 67 and they've not been touched by man. But they can still tarnish even though they're inside of this container. So that from the dime up, these are all silver, high content silver coins. So I mean, you've got silver value, you've got the collectability of it being a set. So that's a good little piece. Probably set like that would sell for maybe around $50 or so, $50 to $60, I'd say, for the set at auction. So recoup a little bit there. This is just a Canadian coin collection set. Now, although these do have some interesting sort of designs on them, loose individually, they'd only be worth what the face value is. As a collector's set, well, they have different graphics and stuff on it, so it would be worth quite a bit more. This set brand new was probably, I don't know if there's a price tag on the back, probably not, but it might have been like 20 bucks that you buy it at the post office or something like that. It's to celebrate Canada's 150th anniversary. So much more than face value. So at an auction sale, probably $20, $25 for a set like that. Pretty cool. And there's only a couple other little coin sets. This is kind of a holographic looking butterfly coin. It is sterling silver. It's not quite an ounce of silver, but it is a sterling silver coin. So you've got the silver value. So you can look online and see what the value of silver is per ounce. But the fact it's a collector silver coin too will bump it up a bit. So a few good coins there. So let's say, you know, between the coin sets, we're probably back, you know, another $100 and so. So now I've got basically to recover $500 or so out of the rest of this. And why am I talking about dollars? Because we're a store. And some of you out there are buying collections and investing in stuff and trying to see about getting your money back. So although this was a lot of money out, putting $1,000 out in one day was a big pill to swallow. But, you know, if there's some good stuff in here, we'll be all right. Let's have a look at some of the jewelry here. Now, some of the pieces are costume jewelry, but they go back many generations. So these can go back to, you know, I'd say some of these are like teens, 20s sort of era. I don't think there's anything really super duper old in here, but there are some interesting pieces. Now, costume jewelry actually can be quite expensive, as I've learned. I've had cases where we've had nice Sherman brooches similar to this sell for $100, $200, even though there's no actual precious gemstones on it, just because the quality is really nice. That is not a Sherman piece, but nonetheless, costume jewelry and brooches do sell okay. Same with cameos too. Now, cameo brooches, this doesn't have, like, typically a cameo might have a face and profile, but if we flip it over, you can see that it's made in England. So it is a proper English antique cameo. Nice piece, nice brooch. Let's keep going through here. This is more of the costume jewelry sort of stuff, brooches. And that's kind of a fun little guy. Look at that. It's a little bumblebee. And probably a little on the older side. It's marked as being Czech. So Czechoslovakian or Czech Republic made. It's got these beautiful little sort of rhinestones in the back there. Fun piece. Bugs, for whatever reason, bug jewelry always sells. And I noticed that this little guy who's dangling off of here is a sterling silver spider. Kind of sparkly. I think it has semi-precious stones for the legs and maybe for the body with a silver base, stamped as 925 silver on a silver chain. Really, really neat piece. And I think I noticed in the corner here, you got the matching little spider earrings too. So I think there's gonna be a few sets in here. It's gonna take a while to sort through all this and kind of get it all organized. But what we did notice though, is that pretty much everything in this bin, which is marked Burke's, and Burke's in Canada is kind of like Tiffany, I guess. It was a really high quality company. These charm bracelets, look at that. Charm bracelets, you might go, okay, well, it's a charm bracelet. But every single one of them is marked sterling silver. So all of these charms are silver, and that's really quite heavy. They've got a very full, solid silver charm bracelet with all these different places. It looks like as they traveled around, Victoria, Washington, all the little places that they went to, maybe on vacation, they got a charm and put it on there. And each one, sterling silver. Even tiny little handcuffs. So there are people who collect the charms. There are people who collect the bracelets. And together is a nice set. That's actually a really cool piece. And there's not just one of those. I think somewhere in this mess at the bottom, there might be another one. with more little charms. Again, all sterling silver, little sombreros and stuff. And now, trouble you run into with a box like this is things can get tangled easy, and it can take a while to untangle them. And also to find the matching pairs, like these sterling silver earrings. So I'll probably have to spend some time going through this. Oh look, there's another charm bracelet. All sterling silver. You can see right on the bottom. You grab any one and look at it. It's marked sterling. Sometimes they mark them 925. Sometimes they're marked sterling. Either way, it just means that it's silver, which is good. So lots of fun stuff to go through in here. Little earrings and accessories. That looks like it's gold, actually. As we kind of go through, there's pendants mixed in here, earrings, just all sorts of funky, interesting little things. I'm sure Melissa and Abigail will want to have a peek through here too. This sort of wrapped filigree heavy silver bracelet. Other bracelets. These oftentimes come from Mexico, as I've learned. They actually have some very nice silver jewelry that comes from the Mexico area. That one has been cut or sized. It is silver though. That looks like it might be garnet. I'm not 100% sure. Have to check some of these things over. They will put semi-precious or precious stones in with silver too. Just an amazing little collection, a little bucket of silver rings and silver chains, and earrings. It doesn't look like there's a lot here, but when you actually separate all this out, there's probably like 100 pieces of jewelry just between these two boxes. Now, this box, you open it up, it's a little bit smaller, but sometimes small things contain good items. When you look at a piece like this, you can kind of see it's got some small indentations in it. That's not great for the condition of the item, but that is good because that's a sign that it's a soft metal, and a soft metal like this is typically gold. So as we go through, I'll see, and I'll get my loop out. I've got my loop here. We'll see if we can just check the marks on some of these just to make sure that what we're looking at is actually gold and not gold filled. A lot of earlier antique rings are actually not 14 or 18 karat. High-end stuff would have been like in the 22 karat range, but this is like common would have been 9 or 10 karat at the time. They actually put other alloys in to make it a little bit stronger. So when we take a peek at this, which looks like it's actually a soldered set, like it looks like an engagement ring and a wedding band that have been, or maybe no, it's just a split ring. It looks like a set though from the top anyway. Sometimes they do solder them. Let's see here if it's marked. Yeah, it's marked right in there. Let's have a closer look with the loop. Get the loop out. We'll have a look, and you can see right there 14 karat. So they're actually both strapped 14 karat. So I think that might have been 2 rings at one point that have been put together. Maybe I was right, because they wouldn't usually put 2 separate stamps on them. I think that was 2 rings. Yeah, I think they've just been soldered and buffed out at the bottom there. This whole bucket, or the whole box is all gold. I've had a chance to check all the marks, and they range from 10 to 14 karat. So we've got all sorts of gold chains, little diamonds, all sorts of fun stuff in there. Aside from the silver and gold, which are the things you actually usually look for, and the early costume jewelry, there's still another bucket of old costume jewelry in here. Well, some of it's probably not that old, but there is costume jewelry in here too, and that can sell. It's kind of curious. This is a really old CIL bullet box, but what's inside are antique military buttons. Probably World War II sort of era. Pretty neat. Well, pocket knives, which are fun. Even a Zippo lighter with a flaming skull on it. I'm sure somebody will think that's neat. As for the books that are here, I buy really specific sort of books, like great titles like Treasure Island. That's a nice 1920s edition of Treasure Island. But even though this book and the one underneath it aren't in very good shape, they are really old cookbooks. And they're just super fun to go through. Like this cookbook, the first few, you can tell it's old because look, there's instructions on how to blacken a stove, you know. That's when you've got a cast iron wood stove. A new system of domestic cookery and adapted for the use of private families by a lady. And what year is it from? 1828. And it was 7 shillings. This is in English. A lot of good roasts and turkey sort of recipes, I'm sure, in here. Look, there's an index. Let's see, what sort of things do they have? Carrot soup, onion soup, spinach soup. A lot of soups. I guess I'm in the soup department. Gravies, puddings. This is like pretty much the, look for the use of the mistress of the family. But they've got nice graphics in here describing how to cut things. Poor fish. That looks like the sort of thing that you could like put a little string on it, make its lip talk. That's what I would do. That's why I don't have fish heads on a plate in my house. Poultry game, yeah, it's just a really, really early, you think that 1828, you're talking, that's going way back. And there are people who will actually try and make recipes out of these old cookbooks. And so they've become very, very popular. What's nice is when you find them and they have a lot of handwritten notes. This one doesn't really have a lot of, you know, family passed down recipes written in it, but still, nice early cookbook. Same with the Cookery for Every Household. I've had this edition before. This book dates back to 1914. And of course the cover is loose because I'm sure it got pulled in and out of the pantry for 100 years. They have all sorts of other good recipes in here too. Sauces, savory dishes, sweet salads. Sure, like their jelly salads for a while there, especially in the 40s and 50s. Everything was a jelly salad. Don't just eat lettuce, put it in Jello. Not a big fan of that. It's a perfectly good way to ruin good green Jello. Put carrots and lettuce in it. Anyway, old cookbooks do sell very well, so anytime I come across an old cookbook, I will pick it up. Look, I'm learning. I'm not just buying boy stuff. I'm buying other stuff too, cookbooks and Pyrex and jewelry. One little set that was pretty cute was this. These are in lovely condition. They're fireside stories. They're little books you could have read by your fireplace to your kid. They're bound so nicely. They have this little string that holds them open. Beautiful pages. You can see the condition is basically perfect, which is surprising considering these little books, this little set here is from 1895. And if you go, well, maybe that's way too good condition to be from 1895. I thought the same thing, and then I looked it up, and sure enough, 1895 is just a perfectly preserved set of 1800s children books. And you've got titles like Robin Hood, Little Red Riding Hood, there's nursery rhymes, Tom Thumb, The House That Jack Built. So all of these, here you go, Aladdin or The Wonderful Lamp. That's quite the mustache there. That's an enviable mustache Aladdin's got there. Anyway, really fun little assortment of books here. And looking online, a set like this, it would have come in a little box, I guess, originally, like a little sort of storage box, which I don't have, but it is a complete set of 12 of the books. And in the condition they're in, $30 to $60 a book potentially. So very, very nice little set. Be sure to find a good home for those at some point too. A lot more that I'll have to sort and go through. But there's all kinds of great stuff in here. I'm sure there's going to be a few surprises as we go through. You know, some rubies, it looks like. Rubies and diamonds. So the plan for all of this, I sometimes sell costume jewelry at the shop, but I don't keep a lot of it around because frankly, it's a magnet for thief activity. So all of this will be actually going to auction, and the auction house said, hey, if you can hurry and get this stuff to us right away, we could probably make it in time for a Valentine's Day sale. So I've got the work ahead of me to go through. Oh, look, that's a whale tail. I'm so distracted. I have to go through and figure out what all this stuff is and get it all sorted and inventoried and bagged up and tagged, and it will go to auction very, very soon, actually. So I guess we'll see. Right now, it's sort of, I don't know if I'd say a gamble, but the money is out, not in. So we've got to try and get that money back, our investment back on this stuff as soon as possible. So that's what I plan on doing. Everything's gonna go up for sale, and maybe I'll do an update and let you guys know how everything went. But kind of fun to go through all this stuff. And I hope that you enjoyed the little unboxing video with me. There's so much more that I should probably show. Maybe what I'll do is if I get this all inventoried and separated, because it just looks like sort of a cluttered mess right now. Maybe once it's all separated out, I will show you guys all the wonderful little pieces that were in this collection. Thanks so much for watching today's video. I've got a lot of work to do today to get all this stuff organized, and that's what I've got to go to get, supplies. So off I go on my daily adventures to look for more cool things like this. I hope you enjoyed today's little unboxing video. It was fun for me to go through, and I'm not done yet. This is gonna be like an all-night adventure going through this stuff. I'll try and maybe post some pictures and stuff on our Instagram or Facebook page and show you. I'll let you know when the auction's happening. You can check it out then too. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you all soon. Bye for now.